These irons will set you back £579 for a 5-iron to gap wedge. A set that you might consider a set that are very forgiving, have a little bit of offset, but are very strong lofted, hence why it is only 5-iron to gap wedge. I have played 9 holes with these clubs and I thoroughly enjoyed them because of how easy.
That's better than you drive.
Because of how easy they are to hit. But as you'll hear, there is only one man to test these today, and that is mid-handicap Dave. So Dave is the man to test these clubs because his bad shot is a little bit to the left, and we know when we go forgiveness, often they get a little bit of offset, which is not ideal for Dave. But these are designed to get the ball launching higher. We've got a lot of technology in these clubs, but really what Dave's thinking is that's a great price. That is from 5-iron to gap wedge. So again, you might have a different wedge what you use around the greens. Again, stronger lofts in these, so your gap wedge still might be a bit fiery around the edge of the greens, but Dave will test that with the pitching wedge we have got. It's not
very bottomy, but you know what? It's gone.
It's not left either, Dave,
No.
is it?
But took that really off the bottom. So
Extremely forgiving, but we can see there is plenty of offset on that club.
there is.
So Dave, obviously Wilson's been a brand that a lot of people have requested on the channel.
Yeah.
We've not tested it because we've not really been able to get hold of it until
It's kind
Bobby
of a brand
came on board.
It's fallen out of favour. I mean, I remember Padraig Harrington won 2 Opens with them, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been with them a long time, but obviously if we said to you, name the clubs he used, I think you would struggle.
What do you mean?
But you wouldn't know what irons he had at the
Oh,
time.
I won't have a clue.
I mean, the only thing I remember with Wilson is fat shafts. Wilson fat
Oh, yeah,
shafts,
there were
remember
them, yeah.
those?
They were strange then. They didn't
Yeah.
have any sort of stepping on the shafts, did they?
No, but again, good prices of these. Obviously Wilson does work out a bit cheaper, which might favour you, Dave, might favour a lot of the viewers. Obviously saving
I'm all right at the minute.
Well, true, saving a bit of money, obviously, and getting premium products, but you wouldn't know, Dave, maybe, the company with the most major wins still,
Really?
Wilson.
That must be from a long time ago, I guess.
Well, yeah, over the years, but obviously not very recent, Padraig Harrington being the last, but it'd be interesting here to see how they do going into the greens. Again, stronger lofts, but they are designed to launch the ball higher, so let's see what we can
You've
do.
that decent. You've left yourself about 150 in there.
Yeah, that's not bad there. That's past where you hit your drive earlier, Dave.
Hmm.
So not a bad shot from Dave either. Not too far behind there. Obviously didn't go left on you, Dave.
No, it didn't, which, given the offset, I was a bit nervous. Stood above the shot.
Yeah, and obviously looks-wise, Dave, pretty good looking from there. We know what we're getting, but obviously it's behind the golf ball. A lot of offset. Big top edge, Dave.
Yeah, big top edge. Kind of reminds you of the top edge that you used to get on the old Callaway Big Bertha irons.
Big Berthas, yeah. But again, it's a 5-iron in from here. Can Dave get the launch with this 5-iron off the fairway? That's the big thing here. They are saying that we are going to get a lot of launch from these. Again, technology in them, as we know. It does have a low CG, high MOI. But again, not your best strike, Dave, but how well has that done?
I think that's brilliant.
Just
Considering
short of the green.
It was a poor strike.
Yeah, not your best, but again, obviously, the offset putting you off maybe?
Maybe just a little bit, yeah.
And that's what you've got to think about when you're buying these clubs, guys. Again, you need to go and get fitted for these. Again, they do fit these at Wortley Golf Club. Rich will sort you out there. And again, Wilson, a brand that have a lot of deals on. So when you're looking online, there's always offers, there's always discounts on the golf balls, on the clubs at the minute. So certainly a brand that is going to save you money. We know the premium because they've had the most major wins. Maybe they've just disappeared for a while because of marketing budgets have changed. And we can see Dave's just there, just short. And again, two not the best strikes here, and on this hole he would never play it that way, but he's done well for you, Dave.
It has, yeah, you can't complain.
And this is where you've got to think, guys, obviously for me, for these irons, I did struggle a little bit with distance control, obviously stronger lofts, launching a lot higher. They certainly were going a long way, but once you've got used to that, that's great. But if you are somebody who has a little bit of a faster swing speed, really think about if these are going to be the right clubs. They certainly launch extremely high, which is what they're designed for, but if you're playing windy conditions, if you have a lot of speed, you might be going too high, and you're going to sacrifice some distance, some accuracy, and not enjoy your golf. Or you can catch it extremely thin there, but even that's launched very low. Forgiveness wise, yes, it was off the bottom, but I'll zoom in shortly. That's bounced and stopped, it spun up. I've got a 50-foot putt, but I've got away with one. And that's what you're paying for just £579, half price the majority of the other premium brands. Comment below, guys, how much are you spending on your golf clubs? Are you going second hand? Are you going brand new? Again, we like to get involved and see what you want to spend on golf clubs, because again, we have been going over to golf clubs for cash, getting some second hand clubs, seeing how they perform. So far for Dave, they've performed maybe as well as his current clubs, but we now know Dave has new shafts in his irons. We know that he's playing better, getting the launch angles, so it's making sure you get a combination, the right shaft, the right head design, but also the right price point for you. So this is a shot where Dave said he would use a wedge from, he would use his pitching wedge, play a bit of a bump and run up this green. So we've given him the pitching wedge here, and this is something that, especially when you're buying a set, do you go all the way through the set? I mean, down behind the golf ball, Dave, how does that look to you?
It just looks a bit too offset for me,
Yeah.
if I'm honest. I don't mind the top line, that never really bothers me if I'm honest.
No?
But the offset would worry me. I mean, for chipping, not too bad, but if playing full shots, that'd worry me, as you well know.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like you can commit to those shots because you think, well, if I do release it, we might get a quick left. And was that a worry? You knew these were stronger lofted.
It was, and you know what, I thought I'd taken it into account, but I ended up not quite committing to it properly, and I thinned it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really the fault of the club, it was me for not
But
trusting
let's
it.
hit another one, because obviously we know they do come off a little bit faster off those faces. So around the edge of the greens, this is where you've got to think you might have a couple of specialist wedges down at the bottom of the bag. Again, I've heard great things about the Wilson wedges. I haven't tested those yet, but you might then go to a forged wedge where you know how it's going to come off the face. Like here, if Dave trusts this shot, again, a good strike there.
Ooh, it touched the hole.
Behind the hole there.
You see,
But-
they've probably just taken a little bit. This is the first time I've tried to chip with them. They take a little bit of getting used to, but you know, my short game's not that bad, so I'm fairly sure I'll be able to get used to them, no bother.
Yeah, pretty good there. And do any of you watching have the Dynapower irons? And if you do have Wilson, one, what clubs have you got? And two, where did you get fitted? Again, not many places have them. Wortley Golf Club in the Rotherham area, Sheffield area, do have these clubs in. But Dave's going to put it to the test here, because this is what it's all about. In the longer irons, are they working for Dave, or would he still be looking at going into hybrids? We know the offset's not for Dave, and this is where you need to start to think, when you're looking for forgiving irons, you do want some that are probably not offset if you do miss left. We know Dave's in a small percentage of those people. But Dave's getting them to fade. And again, not your best shot, Dave, there, would you say, strike-wise?
I'd say it was strike-wise, it was terrible, but it's nearly gone in.
But it's nearly gone in, and the forgiveness there, you are getting that, and it hasn't gone left. So is it a bit of a myth, obviously, with this offset, that if you put a good swing on it, if you return the club face slightly open, it'll do a job? Let's hit one more, Dave. We didn't get the launch, obviously, there, because again, strike wasn't fantastic, but we can't argue with that forgiveness, can we?
No, not at all.
Although Dave normally probably would try and argue with the forgiveness. We will be testing the Dynapower drivers out soon as well with Dave, and I will be doing them on the channel in the coming weeks. With the help of our Cameron and Bobby.
Bit slicey, that one, Chris.
Again, you managed to get it to fade. Distance-wise, again, not a great strike, but that would have gone pin high. We can't, obviously.
Do you know what? I'm scared of sort of letting the club turn over, because I think it's going to pull left. But I don't need to, because it's not.
No, it hasn't
it's not going left,
drastically.
There's not anything left with them, have there?
No, and again there, distance-wise forgiveness for some absolutely terrible strikes have done well. Dave, this is why we get Dave in. You know, he's the man to just put a mid-handicap strike pattern on it.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.
No.
Tom Cruise once said.
So guys, Wilson obviously making a comeback. They do seem to be a lot more popular. Again, clubs just doing exactly what they say. If they're forgiving, they are getting that forgiveness. For me, in the CBs and the MBs, I am enjoying the field of flight. The distance from them are good, but the price point is again a nice little bit of a bonus. You are saving some money compared to the premium brands. I've got to try out the forged irons as of yet. There is another forged CB out there, so I will be trying those soon. So we've gone from not testing Wilson to finally being able to get our hands on it all, and so far we're enjoying all of it. But guys, get in the comments, have you got Wilson? Would you buy Wilson, or what are you using?